flag returned.
I'll cut a notch with your name. Feel the frost.
Now you've got my attention.
And a point well taken. Arrow fly. I'm under attack! To battle. My
Let I stay cocky. I think you're winning.
Your fault is sealed.
That's actually pretty impressive. Now you're just showing off. Wicked. Double kill. Monster kill. Triple kill. You got this. Dragon to the frame. Bye-bye, Blade. 30 seconds to go time. I need no sting. I think you're winning.